orange spiral mass that the flatworm is crawling over is a string of eggs, but ironically they are nudibranch eggs and not flatworm. This just reinforces how good this dive site really is. Many flatworms are brightly colored, advertising their toxic nature and telling predators they are not very yummy to eat. And since they have no predators lurking around every corner, they have no problem taking a stroll along the reefs. In fact, sometimes they stop crawling and prefer to swim. It must take a lot of energy for a flatworm to swim in this fashion. They can only go in short bursts, for the most part. However, if they want to go far distances, all they have to do is catch the next current and glide to the next destination. Luckily for me, this guy preferred to give me a show. Although flatworms have primitive bodies, they actually have some pretty cool abilities. For instance, some of them are capable of mimicking toxic nudibranch. They also have another cool trait where they can lose part of their body, and that piece will grow into a whole new individual. It's a wonder that we found this flatworm, as it is so tiny. These are not white boulders there next to them. Those are tiny grains of sand, giving you an idea just how small this one really is. To show you just how small he is, I set my finger in the sand and he crawled right over it. Now this is still zoomed in, but if you look at your own index fingernail, you'll realize that he is about 1/5 that size, and you'll get some idea. Like I said, it's a miracle we found him at all. There are a lot of species of Flabellina nudibranch out there, and it's fascinating what ones you'll see depending on the region. This particular Flabellina is an undescribed and unnamed species, and one that I have yet to see in the Philippines. And believe me, I've tried. I even published a book on Amazon about nudibranch of Darwin, where my dive buddy and I found over 300 species. Yet as soon as I arrive in Siquijor, we find more. Although this pair of nudies were actually not that small, maybe 2 centimeters long, they were living on this delicate, stinging hydroid. Normally when we check hydroids, we find much smaller nudies, such as the Eubranchus genus, but these guys were a welcome change tonight. Another amazing nudibranch species that I never knew existed is this Cabangus rheus, and it's one of the most colorful that I've seen in a long time. What an awesome find. He's definitely new to me and certainly never made it into my book. are thousands of species of nudibranch in the world, and at least 1,500 known in the Philippines, each one of them sporting their own patterns and body styles and colors, making for a favorite for many divers. What makes them a favorite for underwater photographers, however, is that they aren't scared of us and do not shy away from the camera, making for the perfect photo and video subjects. When we get tired of wishing those cardinal fish or clownfish would hold still for the shot, all we have to do is look around and we'll be sure to find the most cooperative little subjects ready for their close-ups. As a kid, did you ever play with a BB gun? Well, this incredible slug was about half the size of one of those tiny BBs. Just imagine that. Whenever my guide calls me over to tell me he's found something, I'm always excited, wondering what I'm about to see next. And each time he shows me an amazing critter this tiny, living in its own universe, hidden from the rest of the world, it reminds me that sometimes we have to take a closer look at our world to discover more. There's always more on a dive, always something different. Each time we drop beneath the waves and turn on the lights, we find things that have stretched the imagination since we were kids. We make it our mission to show tiny creatures like this to the whole world and show them what is out there or yet to be discovered.